And welcome everyone to the Elite Series League of Legends. My name is Daniel and unfortunately I will be all alone today. It's a bit sad, but yeah, today unfortunately no other caster was available, so you will be stuck with me. It will be a little bit of a different stream, a little bit more laid back, so I suggest you grab a cup of coffee or yeah, just a drink of your favor and we enjoy some beautiful League of Legends together tonight. Yeah, let's maybe bring up the schedule so we can take a look at what awaits us in today's games. We'll have JÖRMUNGANG or JMGG against AURORA in the first game of the night, and then we will follow that up by Dynasty against Full Clear. Third game will be ESLOL, of course, against Pertinax, and then we have Once Upon a Team against Next in the fourth match of the day and the last one. So yeah, first game, JMGG against... I already forgot it in my little brain. I've also had a headache all day, so really don't expect much quality from me today. JMGG against AURORA, of course. So, yeah, maybe the standings can tell us a little bit more about the position of both these teams and how they will be performing. We can see that AURORA is in a third place, which they share together with Next. Then we have Full Clear Esports and with Slovs in the first position, still unbeaten. And then on the lower half of the standings, we will be able to find JMGG, our opponent, which are longing for some wins here in order to still make it to playoffs in this second half of the split, which we are entering right now. So all these games that we are seeing tonight, we've already seen them, and I'm just gonna quickly confirm what I'm about to say, but I think JMGG definitely lost their first game against AURORA. Yeah, they lost that one. So they might have a tough time. AURORA, of course, is a very strong team, definitely playoff contender. And then JMGG has been struggling so far. And I think we are about to head into Champ Select as well. Okay, in about 1 minute is what Regie just told me, so we got a little bit more time to talk about both these teams. So what are we looking out for when we are watching both these teams? For AURORA, it's their mid laner, of course, Silex, which has been very strong. Then we saw a very strong performance from Gilgamesh last Friday on Xante. So Xante might be a ban JMGG is looking into here. Same as LeBlanc. Silex has been introducing the what's the item called? Static Shift LeBlanc to the ESLOL Div 2. So that's something we wanna look out for. And then, of course, they got a pretty strong bot lane with Lantian. And no, it's not an insane. It's yeah. It's a pretty strong bot lane for as well. And then JMGG. I think Dan is still an AD carry you have to look out for, but overall they haven't been much of a dangerous team. I also can't remember any must bans that we have against them, so AURORA should be in a more comfortable position here also, doing Champ Select already. Yeah, what are your predictions? Let me know in chat. As we are heading into the Champ Select right now. So yeah, JMGG on blue side, what are they gonna do here? Starting off with a Zeri ban, makes sense of course, pretty... Yeah, strong champion still, will always be, I think, unless Riot Games decides to put some nerfs. And then we have Lucian, so you can already see very clear pattern. Raven is being banned against Dan, of course. I think he's pretty much an OTP on that champion. And then we see a Neko ban from Aurora. It's going to be the Milio here as well. So JMGG decides to go for pretty standard bans here. That's of course leaving a LeBlanc open. That's leaving a Cassante open. And then we can see a hover from the Amumu, which would be a very interesting choice here. Something we haven't seen much at all. And okay, they decide to go for LeBlanc here for Dwast, picking that of course away also from Aurora, which makes sense. Gallop is predicting Aurora to win. I would do so too, to be honest. I mean, they had a very first half of the competition, very strong first half. They have been on a losing streak, but they broke that last Wednesday. Yeah, Wednesday. And so I'm looking forward to see if they can keep it up against JMGG, but I think they should be able. I mean, they're playing against arguably the weakest team, at least according to standings. But of course, we're looking for a surprise from JMGG here. Now we can see we have an Aphelios as well as an Aurelia being picked. Aurelia, a very interesting pick here in my opinion, because it can be a flex pick going to mid lane or top lane, of course. And I think it could fit the playstyle of both these players. Like Zilix has been playing Assassins, has been playing very aggressive. And Gilgamesh with his Cassante as well. I think he 1v2'd on Wednesday, so yeah, both very strong players, and a carry like Aurelia definitely fits their playstyle. And they're going to round it off with the jungler, potentially. Looking here for Sejuani or Gragas, and it's going to be the Gragas for Grammy. So yeah, no decision to take the support here alongside the AD carry. So those are open to be banned out right now. And then I think that's also what JMGG should try to go for here, like support bans, because they still don't know where the Aurelia is going, so it's hard to ban either mid laners or top laners. But of course they also would have a chance here to ban Cassante, in order to make sure that that power pick is not going to Aurora. Or pick it themselves, of course. But yeah. Yeah, here we can see the Lulu ban. So as I said, focusing a little bit on supports. Darius also a very interesting pick here to go for on the side of JMGG. It's of course not... It's a champion we don't see that much in competitive. I think that's because his kit is more of a solo queue kit. But he can bring a lot to a team fight, and it's an absolute bully on the top lane. So maybe Aurora is thinking about putting that Aurelia rather on the mid lane in order for her to have an easier lane against LeBlanc than she would maybe have against Darius. Ooh, and Aurora goes for a Sejuani here, so now we can flex everything about, but at least we got all 3 picks. But it could be a Sejuani top lane, it could be a Sejuani jungle Gragas top lane, it could be an Aurelia top lane Gragas mid lane Sejuani jungle. Everything is still thinkable here for Aurora. JMGG, however, they go for pretty straight picks. Wukong going to the jungle, going to be for Ovale here. While Varus is going to be the AD carry. And it's going to be rounded off with what seems to be Borm, which of course trying to deny a little bit of the aggressivity. It's going to be a Swain. Very interesting. I think we haven't seen a Swain support this split yet. But I know that during Spring Split, that's something that with Slov's support has been playing a lot. And he has been carrying the games on it. So yeah, Swain, a very dangerous support. And I think together with Varus, that makes for a very aggressive poke-heavy lane. So yeah. And then we have a Nautilus on the side of Aurora for Sass. So they also try to answer with a little bit of aggressive playstyle, aggressive possibilities here. But I think Varus and Swain should be in a better position to like constantly poke down the lane of Aurora and especially keep up the tempo on the bot lane, the pressure, what's the word? They should have that lane pushed out pretty much all the time, which of course gives them a better chance to like roam and stuff. So yeah, looking at team comps overall, I think Aurora did a little bit of a better job here. If QG was here, he would be talking about go buttons, and they have a lot of go buttons. They got Sejuani ultimate, they got a Gragas, they got an Aurelia, they got an Nautilus, they got engages on 4 of their 3 champions, and then they got an Aphelios, which doesn't really want to engage himself, but can be doing a lot in the team fight, of course, as well. On the other hand, we have a bit more of a chaotic team comp is what I would call it. So we got the Darius, which himself should be a very strong laner. We got Wukong jungle, which is a very strong jungler. We got LeBlanc, which is an assassin, so she loves those skirmishes, 2v3, 3v2, sorry, or 3v1, going roaming, going for dives, stuff like that. But so is Aurelia, so I think mid lane is really a lane we should take a closer look at. And then we got the bot lane, and as I said, I think Varus Swain should have the upper hand. They should have the... what's the word? Can chat help me maybe? There's a word for when you always try to push out your lane. Could you just add a small box in the layout where it says the patch number? The patch number is 13.11. We're still on 13.11 here. So static shift is still broken. Priority. Thank you, Gallop. Prior. That's exactly the word I've been looking for. Yeah. I think they should be able to keep a priority on the bot lane, and maybe they can do something with that. But overall, I think Aurora did a better job here. They have the cleaner team comp, and yeah, we will see about that. We will see how it turns out in the game as we are heading in. Aurora against JMGG. JMGG on the blue side, Aurora on the red side. And excuse me if you're going to face a little bit more silences today on the stream, as we normally do. Alone it's always hard to try and cover constant silence. Aurora grouping up a little bit here. Might be trying to deny the early game ward from Ovali here. And he doesn't go for it. He can smell that Aurora is waiting there. So takes his backboard. We'll go for the red buff first, of course. Having his bot lane there to help. And Gragas is going for a red buff start as well. So both junglers jungling counter rotation wise. Oh, it's not Gragas starting there, Sejuani. Okay, in the end it was a Gragas top lane and a Sejuani jungle. I kinda missed that. Sorry. Ooh, Sars going in immediately there on the bot lane. Level 1 already. Getting a lot of damage there onto Dan. And Aurora tries to get a little bit of a heads up here on the lane because of course they know that a lot of poke will be coming their way once JMGG hits level 2, 3, etc. So getting a little bit of a damage difference in on the first level already makes perfect sense for them. Yeah, Wukong already at the blue buff. Could be looking for top lane gank here, but I think he won't. Darius already pushed in the lane pretty badly. And I think in general, Gragas will have a very tough time up there against Axo. We can see Axo completely bullying Galgamesh away from his minions. Constantly trying to trade and put out the damage. That's a matchup Gilgamesh just should try to play safe. And then, once the team fights start, he will have his moments to shine. Just try to not feed the Darius. Don't make him stronger than as he has to be. Not miss out on too much farm. We have Grammy waiting here on the bot lane. Dan has to flash there under the tower. And that's going to be a first flash out with the gank there from Aurora's jungler. Beautifully done. So yeah, I think it also makes sense that Aurora tries to play around that bot lane because they got the more engage heavy jungler, and I think it's a good way to try and like keep up with the pressure that Swain and Varus can put on their bot lane. Now we have Ovale coming here to the bot lane, so JMGG getting a little bit of an upper hand, but they're really pushing out the lane now, getting their backpole out of that. But of course giving Aurora the chance also to not miss out on any minions from their backpole. And a little bit of an engage here now from Zillax, but Ovale is around the corner, but so is Grammy. We'll have to see how this turns out. Zillax is pretty low, has to be defensive. Ovale will get stunned, but Zillax too far away to really make that play any more dangerous for JMGG. So no kill to be taken just yet. Very laid back game. General, you can see so far. You can also see Drust has his longsword, so he will definitely be going for that static shift, as it is meta still on 13-11. Sejuani once again on the bot lane, beautifully waiting there. Meanwhile on the mid lane we have the play, Zillax going in a little bit too deep, and it's going to be first blood going to Axo, who came down all the way from top lane with that ghost to take the kill onto Zillax. Or mid laner leaving his life, but Aurora immediately reacting as well cross map and are going for that dragon here. So they say, okay, we give you our mid laner, but we're going to take dragon for that. I think JMGG should be fine with that trade though. They get gold, which is an immediate buff compared to a cloud dragon, which we all know is the worst kind of dragon. But I think it still fits for Aurora. They have much more of a late game comp here anyway, so getting that first dragon already plays into their strategy of assembling dragons and maybe getting that soul later on when their strong points hit. Bot lane of JMTG also just has so much wave clear. Zillick's trying to go in there, but was too fast with the dash. Won't let himself get captured. Meanwhile, on top lane, Gilgamesh is still able to keep up in terms of farm, more or less, which is very good. Although he has the constant pressure there from the Darius. And now the MGG decides to go for the Rift Herald here. He got Swain, who is in the vicinity as well, leaving Varus, of course, alone bot lane to defend the tower. So Aurora will try to get a plating or two out of that. But the Rift Herald is worth it. Ooh, and maybe Aurora even going for the dive here. But then was able to smell that already. Retweeted ahead of time. Saying, I'm gonna give you... Oh, and the hook goes into the minions. Too bad. Else this might have turned out dangerous for Dan there. He's playing this beautifully passive, to be honest. Really good prediction to see this all coming. Now the question is, how is JMGG going to try and put that Rift Herald to a usage? Where are they gonna pop it? Where are they gonna play around it? I think Rift Herald again fits better into the JMGG comp, as does Drake's into Aurora's comp, because JMGG has to play aggressive from the start, or at least during mid game, which we are approaching. Because they got all their power spikes there. Their champions are falling off into late, but they really shine in mid game once we hit the first mythics. I did hear a flash, but I didn't see it. Or maybe I'm just... Maybe it's just my hat playing jokes on me. You can see Aurora already halfway through that bot lane tower. Have been really cashing in those platings. Grammy also once again there. So JMGG's bot lane really under constant pressure from the jungler here. Gilgamesh meanwhile has to keep up on top lane pretty much alone. But he's doing fine. And now Aurora trying to go after Dust there. Bot lane even moved up, so they are already preparing the next Drake, securing the area. I think JMGG should be happy to leave it to them for now. Maybe try to do cross-map play with the Herald they got. Take a tower, either mid lane. And now the engage here from Aurora coming in, both ultimates from Aurelia, and Sejuani are being popped, but no kill yet, and now we have Wukong going in there, Zilex dropping really low, but the rest of Aurora is there to help, and Sejuani is going to be the first one to fall, as Axo is coming in as well now, ultimating onto Zilex, getting that kill with a dunk, and also Gilgamesh in a very bad position, will get wounded and will get killed by the Swain here. Beautifully played by JMGG, who are taking a lead into the game, contesting the dragon. And really showing off that indeed they do have those mid-game power spikes and the stronger champions in this phase of the game. Now even popping also Rift Herald there onto bot lane, funding a little bit more gold into Dan's pockets. Beautifully played, and especially 3 kills going to Axo. That Darius is going to hurt from now on. And Gilgamesh will have a really tough time in the lane, because with Trinity Force now completed, I think Darius should be able to solo kill him if he wants to. Or if he sees the angle. Zilex pretty forward there, might get catch from JMGG, but Grammy's there to help, so is Sass. And now it's Aurora going for the engage there, but Zilex once again very low, and Dwas is going to pick up the kill, as Aurora is now even TPing in to try and change the situation around, but Dan is there as well. They're going to take down Nautilus there, and this just doesn't want to go wide for Aurora. Lumped here now, last man standing there, but triple kill going to Dan from JMGG. We're going for a beautiful one here and have taken 10 kills in less than 2 minutes of this mid game. And now Aurora getting in a tougher and tougher position. 5k gold also behind now. Zilex TPing in but gets dived immediately. You have to check your tower before you TP in. There were 3 people. Of course they are gonna dive you right away. Ay. JMGG really stepping up their game tonight. Showing that they don't deserve that last spot and that they are a team that we have to still have an eye open when it comes to the fight for players, of course. Now, Wawa is trying to set up play here on bot lane with Grammy there. But the person they are facing is Rust. And he's super mobile. But at least the Wawa is able to get the tower. And just in time together with bounties kicking in. So I think a little bit of a lucky timing there as well for Aurora. Cashing in some extra gold. Ooh, Zilex trying to go for the solo kill there onto Rust. However, Axo is around the corner and that Axo is a dangerous one. Luckily nobody has CC up right now, but Zilex in a very tough position. There is going to be grabbed and it's going to be another kill going to Axo. who very chilled takes the kill there with an auto attack. Meanwhile, on the mid lane, Harold is being poked for JMGG. We're going to take another tower there even before Harold can do something to it. So yeah, Harold still full life for the second tower. And that one is going to be able to deal damage too. So 2 towers there on mid lane taken. And Harold, okay, second charge isn't coming through. I was a little bit afraid there for a second. And JMGG just doesn't stop it. There, Axo has been pushing out the bot lane, of course. And now they're even going to take tier 1 on bot lane. So 3 towers there for JMGG traded against only 1 on top lane for Aurora. Now even going for Drake, and Aurora is not looking like they want to contest that. So JMGG just with good macro expanding their leads here. And Aurora, they really have to hope that time passes fast now and that they can scale. But right now, the problem for Aurora is that right now it even, I mean, it just doesn't make sense to fight for them, right? They are in no position to do so. So they have to hope for picks and just try to turtle in their base, try to defend and farm and scale. Get land tier running a little bit more. Yeah. A lot of downtime right here, right now. And I got no color caster to talk about it. Rotation from JMGG towards the base there. Of course, Baron's still not up. I mean, we aren't even in the 20th minute yet, and this is looking very good for JMGG here. Being up 3 towers, 7k of gold lead, which is really a lot for 20 minutes. Ooh, maybe the engage here from Aurora now onto Axo. See their opening there. They're gonna able... No, Axo is even escaping now. The West from JFGG is there going for the engage. Zillax once again the first one to be called out, but so is Grammy. 2 people down from Aurora already as JMGG win this fight just in time for Baron, which they're going to be claiming now. And without a jungler, Aurora doesn't even have a chance to go for a steal here. Now, if we take a quick look at the individual gold differences, we can see a huge lead on the top lane. Darius way ahead for the West, always. Between 1 and 2k gold lead on every position, of course. So overall, JMGG in a very, very good spot, gold-wise, item-wise. Philios hasn't even finished his mythic item yet. So yeah, what's the winning condition here for AURORA? To be honest, I think it's a very tough position they are facing. They need to try to wave clear, to farm, to turtle, to give JMGG as little as possible in the next 5 or even 10 minutes. And then they might have a chance to come back here, but this is looking very, very good for JMGG, who now with their Baron are closing in onto the base there of AURORA. Who are, however, doing a decent job at defending here. JMGG a bit reluctant to try to push for an engage, but they're going to go for that next dragon here, and it's going to be the third one. And normally you don't want to give up the third one, but I think the position AURORA currently is in would be a bit suicidal to try and contest. And they still got one Drake of extra time because they were able to claim that first one. So we aren't at soul just yet, which helps. Small engage there from SARS, which JMGG is jumping on, taking out Grammy. And once again, AURORA without their jungler. And especially without a lot of their team fight and engage potential. Ooh, and meanwhile on bot lane, AURORA trying to go for Exo there. And he's healing just so much. Can he pull off a 1v2 here? No, it's going to be the shutdown going to Gilgamesh. JMGG tries to make a profit out of that as they are going to push for that mid lane tower and even for Lantier, which they get a little bit on top of the tower and the inhibitor there. JMGG still isn't done, but now AURORA going for the engage. TP coming in from behind there. Zillax tries to make it happen, and they are able to get a little bit of purchase here, but JMGG is just too strong. Not a double kill there going to Dan, who in the end falls, of course, but still a win there and an ace for JMGG. We're now with 2 people in the enemy base able to push for some towers. Should be able to get a first one here, but both of course AP champions, so I mean, okay. LeBlanc is going for static shift, but she's still not exactly your pushing champion when it comes to towers and structures in general. So we are going for a backboard. A little reset there from JMGG. But yeah, have expanded their gold lead to 10k now, which in my opinion is always like the 10k is this absolute breaking point. From 10k it's so hard to recover, even with objective bounties. Even if you got a scaling team comp. I don't think AURORA is going to get to the point where they can scale. Or where their scaling is going to make a difference. JMGG, of course, has all cards in their hands to win this. They just have to play them. And now they go in there to the engage, but AURORA has been waiting for them. Says going to be the first one to fall here. Zillax getting out a little, with his flash there, leaving Gilgamesh alone in the trouble there. And in the end, it's going to be a 3-4-1 for JMGG in terms of trades. And Axel still looking there, looking to at least deny the backports, of course, because Dwast is there, is pushing for the Nexus. Are they going to be able to finish this? This should be it. This is going to be the win for JÖRMUNGANG here. Beautifully played. And I believe we should also have an interviewee ready. So yeah, JMGG's top laner Axo will be joining us shortly here to talk a little bit about his performance on that Darius, which was absolutely beautiful. Yeah, I'm honestly very surprised that JMGG was able to take off the win here. But Aurora has days like this. I feel like Aurora is a team which can be very inconsistent. They got days where they play like young gods, and then they got days where they just don't. And today was one of these days, and also JMGG just executed their team comp perfectly. I think they might have been playing a lot of comfort picks. But I think Axo is with us to tell us all about it. Can you hear me, Axo? Can I hear you? Wiji, can you quickly help us here? No? Okay. Okay, he will be with us in a short second. So yeah, tell me in chat, how have you experienced the game? Yeah, I have been able to, or I had to solo today. Unfortunately, none of my co-casters was available. But it's fine. It's fine. We'll hustle through. If you got any questions for Axo, who will be joining me here in a second, please let me know in chat. I think we definitely gotta ask about that Darius. Okay. I'm trying to find out why we have a wait here. It seems like Axel still needs to set up his cam and connection. So yeah. Let's maybe talk a little bit already about the next confrontation as we are waiting. So of course we saw now Aurora against JMGG. Next game will be Dynasty against Fulk. Yeah, Dynasty against Fulk clear. I think a game of two teams that are pretty eye to eye. Fulk of course second in the division, and then we got Dynasty, who I feel like had a very weak start into it, but then they really turned up the heat. They are, in my opinion, still a playoff contester and a very strong team. And yeah, okay. I just got notification that Axo is ready, so we can start into the interview. Axo, are you with me? Can you hear me?
Hello guys, yes, I hear you.
Okay, perfect. So yeah, how did you experience the game?
Okay, I'm sorry, but my English is a bit rusty, so if you could speak a bit slower, it would be nice for me.
Okay, no worries. I will try to go slow. So you had a very strong game on the top lane with the Darius.
Yeah.
Why did you pick Darius?
To be honest, I was a bit lazy about playing tanks for the team. So this game I legit played Ego,
Okay.
and we first two pick Darius. We knew that Gilgamesh is a weak side player, like Gragas, Ornn, Cassante. So I was confident about the Darius.
Yeah, I think it worked out very well. You were able to claim your second win to that Darius. I think a lot of the a lot of this game goes to your pockets.
Actually, two.
Sorry?
Actually, two. We have won 2 games, and 2 games I was on Garen and Darius.
Ah, yeah, okay.
That's what
So, is that something you want to go forward with as well now? Playing more, maybe unconventional picks on the top lane, but which obviously work for you?
I think we will go on this way. I have some other secret picks. Some knows them. But we have a new coach from for 2 days actually.
Okay.
And we made a rollback on the team, and we changed our mind about playing the game.
Okay. Okay, one last question before we head into the break. You are obviously still the last team in the ladder.
Yeah.
Are you still thinking about playoffs? Do you think you can still make it? What's your opinion?
To go to playoff, right?
Yeah, or what's the plan for the rest of the season?
For the rest of the season, the plan is to go 5th or 4th position.
Okay.
We know that we are not able to go top 1, obviously. So we have planned to go 5th or 4th position. We think it's good because we are not in demotion. I don't know if it's like if you say it like that.
Okay.
To go downgrade.
Ah, yeah. Okay. So you try to.
We don't
Yeah,
want to go
okay.
to demote.
Yeah, to demote games. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Axel, for your time. And I would say we head into a very short break, and then we'll see each other shortly for the next game between Dynasty and yeah, whoever they are playing. Fulkli. See you soon.